G'day and welcome to the National Weather Forecast for Friday, the 4th of July. I'm going to go into tomorrow now and talk about this low pressure system moving towards South Australia. You can see sort of moving towards the coastline during the day. Some showers you can see on the model here as it does get closer to the coast. Unfortunately, rainfall totals out of the system looking reasonably modest and pretty hit and miss as well. So if you are chasing some rain in South Australia, probably not the system to get too excited about, unfortunately. Elsewhere, do have sort of high pressure systems either side of the country, keeping things relatively settled. Do have, you can see here, some showers moving towards southwestern parts of WA very late in the piece. That's ahead of a cold front sort of moving towards the state, expecting that on Sunday. We'll talk about that in just a moment. We'll zoom in now on South Australia, talk some a little bit closer up on the shower activity. You can see sort of that showers will be sort of concentrated sort of through the south of the state. The highest, potentially highest falls will be sort of on and west of the Eyre Peninsula. Potential, we'll see some coastal thunderstorms with that as well, sort of through the southwest of the state. Temperatures reasonably warm for this time of year, especially the minimums. So the minimum temperatures sort of well above that freezing level, so we won't be seeing any frost for the start of the weekend. Adelaide heading for a top of 16 on Saturday. Across to Western Australia now, you can see with this high pressure system across the WA, things are looking reasonably settled. Like I mentioned, sort of the late showers getting into the far southwest. Later in the piece, Perth heading for a top of 19 on Saturday. Over to the Northern Territory, things are nice and sunny. Maybe Darwin a little bit cooler than usual, the top of 29, and some chance of some cooler starts sort of through the far southern parts of the state. Chance of frost as well. Across to Queensland now, things quite warm through Queensland. I see some clouds sort of along the east coast, some patchy clouds. Outside chance of something falling out of that, but otherwise quite settled. Brisbane heading for a top of 23, and you can see the minimum temperature sort of around Roma and sort of inland southern parts of the state, sort of around that 0-1 degree mark, so some frost on the forecast through there. Down to New South Wales now. It's not too much to talk about New South Wales weather-wise. You can see sort of that sort of broad area of sort of very low chance of a shower through, sort of especially sort of inland and western parts of the state on the Saturday. Sydney heading for a top of 19 and Canberra heading for a top of 13. You see Canberra's minimum temperature is -3, it's quite frosty, and that sort of risk of frost extends from Canberra up through sort of central eastern parts of the state to the north at Tamworth there. Down to Victoria now. There's not too much going on in Victoria on Saturday, mostly partly cloudy across the state. Melbourne heading for a top of 16. Chance of frost through the northeast and through the Latrobe Valley as well. Down to Tasmania finally now. It's a reasonably settled day for Tasmania on Saturday. Temperatures sort of reasonably mild as well through the mid-teens. We'll see the sort of chance of frost through the usual spots, sort of inland parts of the state. Hobart heading for a partly cloudy top of 14. We'll look into the Sunday now. We're going to look at this weather system in sort of South Australia first. That sort of transits across northern Victoria into sort of eastern parts of New South Wales during the day on Sunday. You can see it does bring the shower activity with it sort of to the dividing range. We will see the chance of a thunderstorm around the ranges in New South Wales as well on the Sunday, and a chance sort of through this sort of northeastern quadrant up here in the state that those thunderstorms will tend a little bit more severe with damaging wind gusts possible. And similarly on the other side of the country, in the far southwest, we have that front crossing Western Australia, a chance of some damaging winds with that system as well, some heavy rainfall as well potential, and as some sort of elevated surf conditions as well for the far southwestern parts of the state as well. So keep an eye on that forecast as we get closer to the time. Capital City forecast for Sunday now. You can see, look, there's nothing too exciting to talk about in terms of temperatures for the Sunday. We do have the chance of a shower on the forecast for much of the southern and eastern parts of the country. Things are a little bit more settled and clear up in the north. And that's all I've got for you today. Keep up to date with those potential warnings and the forecasts as well on the website and the app. And we'll see you again next week.